All right, guys, how's everybody doing? How is everybody?
Well, buddy.
Good. The rain's terrible. Hey, man, nice to see you out of bed. How you feeling? Good. Good. Nice to see you guys. So listen, we either do out of the book or have a discussion, and we're gonna do like a discussion. And I want you guys to talk and ask questions. And I have a few people that listen to the things that I do. Some addicts, some not. And it was brought to my attention that I don't really tell you guys what to expect out there, or that maybe we don't talk about the solution as much, even though I kind of think I do. But, so I think I want to talk about, we're going to go around the room, and I want you to tell me the quick version, what your plan is to do when you get out of here, and maybe some of the things that you might be worried about encountering. Because anybody in here that's in a relationship with somebody, husband, wife, girlfriend, whatever it is, even the kids out there, you do understand it's not going to be all, there's going to be some, you know what I mean? Friction. Good. I couldn't think of the word. Yep. All right, so Carlos, tell me what you're doing when you leave here, and maybe some of the things that might pop up, but what are your plans? I know you're an AA guy, so I know that's what you're planning on doing, but tell me what you're going to do the first day you get out here, and what you're planning on doing every other day when you get out here.
I'm gonna go straight I'm gonna go straight home, call my sponsor, and then I'll go from there.
Okay. See, I believe you. I think you're enough. You'll pretty much do what your sponsor tells you to do. If he tells you to, they're not going to tell you to do no crazy.
I got a sponsor. He's 35 years. He's been 35 years clean and stuff. It don't mean I'm gonna go through myself on her feet and stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, the first thing he's keeping track with everything that I'm doing and stuff. That's what worked for me very good. Last time I got out, the first thing I did, I went to an NA group. I had millions of problems. And this is what was remarkable to me. When I did that, and I went and asked for somebody to sponsor me, and I got all these things going on. He said, we're going to climb this mountain together. And that changed my,
really?
That changed my, then I feel that I didn't have to deal with this shit on my own. And it worked better than good, so when I get out, I'm going to do the same thing.
Can I bring up something? You said it out loud, so I'm not. But you said you had a CPS thing going on.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and I wouldn't have said that if you didn't already say it out loud.
Yeah, I'm not having no
So you got a CPS thing going on. You got a couple of daughters, a girlfriend or a wife?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend. Okay. Here's the crazy part. I know you might not believe this, but here's the crazy part. If all you do is stay clean and work these steps, that stuff takes care of itself. You know what I mean? You don't have to fix all that. That shit only gets worse when you continue to use or drink. So good. I'm glad. Michelle, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go home and do everything I can to stay sober until I move to Dallas.
Okay, and by everything, I know you go to meetings because I see you there sometimes. So you're gonna go to meetings, you're gonna get a sponsor. And
I already have a sponsor.
Well, you do, that's right. And you're gonna do what they say.
Yeah.
Well, no. Listen, that's all. I wasn't even trying to be funny, but it's because here's the thing. What you guys don't understand is early recovery can be extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. Why? Because there's downtime, there's uptime, there's time when we're not doing nothing, we're in our own head, we're in our own skin, we're uncomfortable. And what do we not have any of? Coping skills. Well, we don't have drugs. No, you're right. No. You're right. You're 100% right, because that was drugs or alcohol. That was our coping skill. So here's the whole thing. How do you get through it? You have to acquire some coping skills. Sometimes it's praying. Sometimes it's getting up and going to a meeting. Sometimes it's going to the gym. You should be doing all of this stuff every day. 24 hours. Here's the thing. Especially in early recovery, days will drag. Right? Days will drag, weeks fly by, days drag. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's going to be uncomfortable. How are you going to get through that? You have to make a plan for that. What am I going to do when all I want to do is drink? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm going to stay as busy as possible, go to as many meetings as possible, I'm finally gonna have health insurance, so I'm gonna find a therapist. And I guess, and find some good AA meetings in Dallas, I guess.
And just get connected out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's more difficult for men or for women. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, right? Like men, we go in there with our ego and we're embarrassed. Like we don't want to, like, you know. But men are kind of easier to get along with. Where women can go in there and they got to work. You know what I mean? I understand the dynamics. But here's the thing: if you're trying to save your fucking life, none of that should matter. None of that should matter. What are you gonna do?
Me? I'm gonna get out of here and go to sober living for a few months because my family requested that. My kids mainly. They said we want to know.
Why are you so willing to, like, and I love it, don't get me wrong, but why are you so willing to do it?
So that I can prove them that I'm gonna stay clean and that I'm serious.
Because here's the thing, if whether it's your kids, your wife, your husband, your next door neighbor who you don't really know that much, if they're suggesting sober living for you, it probably is, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and what is there at sober living more than anything?
Sober people.
And more than anything, even before
Meetings.
Structure.
Yeah.
I mean, the rules aren't really crazy.
Right.
They'll want you to go to a few meetings, have a sponsor, work the steps, and go to the house.
Right.
It's not that hard. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. And that will really help. And being around other sober people will help because like he said, when that guy said to him, like, we're going to climb this mountain together, just knowing that you got somebody in it with you, like, it really does. It makes a difference. It makes a difference because we can feel alone. Okay, what else?
I don't know, so I'm a single dad, so I'm trying to do what my kids want me to do, you know? So that we can compromise and they get that respect back, and then I'm gonna go to some meetings, you know?
Well, that shows a lot of humility. It really does. It shows a lot of humility because you're willing to take, you know, you want to do it for them because, like, if you ask me, you want to ease their fear, right? Because they've been scared to death. You know what I mean? They've been watching that. So it's like, here's the thing. You know it's not going to hurt you. You know it's not going to hurt you. Because I tell people that all the time. I'm like, because a lot of times it's like, people, my parents want me to go to sober living, but I don't want to go. I'm like, why not just go for them? Like, is it going to, like, here's the thing. You don't have to move there forever. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a forever thing. It can just be a 3 month, 6 month, whatever type of thing it is. But it for sure is not going to hurt. I'm glad, man, you're setting yourself up for success.
So yeah, so it's gonna be a 3 to 6 month bill until they feel comfortable. And most kids say, oh, Dad, you're too rough on me. My kids say, Dad, you're not rough enough on me.
Well, hey, can I tell you why? A lot of times when we're using, we know we're not doing the right thing, so we kind of go easy on the kids, right?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? We kind of, and don't make this mistake either. Don't get out there and get sober and then all of a sudden become the hammer. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they're not going to want to hear that either.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, because that's what I want to talk about in this too, is also, I want to explain to you the type of situations that are going to arise with your friends and the family that you're going to deal with, because it will be a real thing. Your kids, even when you're kids and your people, when they see you starting to get better and act differently, it's going to throw them off of it.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when you just gotta, like, if they start, I mean, do you know how many times people get accused of drinking and getting high in the beginning when they're not? Just because they're acting differently. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they've never seen this part of you, so they think something's up. And really, all you gotta do is charge it to the game, say you're sorry, you know, don't engage, and then being consistent, they'll see.
Straight back to work.
Okay.
Listen,
What do you do for work?
Paint.
Okay, so it's not like you work in a restaurant
Also-
or a bar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, this is like Picasso.
I wish.
But what else though? All right, so you got, everybody needs to make a living, so you gotta go back to work, but what else?
Just really stay busy, you know? Not try to have any free time. And of course, I know Victoria, there's what is it, NA? Yeah, like narcotics.
Listen,
law.
here's the thing about Victoria. They've got some really good meetings. They don't have tons of NA meetings,
Okay.
They've got a couple of good ones, and they've got some good AA meetings. I've got some people out in Victoria, there was a guy here, he just spoke a couple of weeks ago. He's got over a year, he's killing it, he's doing great, I'll introduce you to him. Shout out to Ashley, everybody say hi to Ashley, he listens.
Hey, Ashley.
He's a man.
How?
So, you know, ask him, you know, maybe he can sponsor, ask him what to do. You know what I mean, he's done everything. And just, kids, girlfriend, what's your situation?
No kids,
Okay.
single, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
great.
Get you.
Hey man, give it a year, bro.
Yeah, and get your mind right, you know. Well, here's the whole thing with that. Listen, I agree with that, right? Why should we give it a year before we jump into a relationship? Why?
Because we're not, we're
still
really
fixing ourselves, man.
Exactly.
100%, but let's just pretend we're like healthy, right? Let's just pretend. But, and we're not, but I'm just saying. if
Also,
we-
what have we done always? We've always jumped into shit, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What are we
You know,
gonna
we're
do?
gonna do the opposite.
We're gonna be
We're
focused
Yeah.
on somebody else and not focused on ourselves. Like, you have to invest into yourself, 100%. You have to invest into yourself, your spiritual, your mental, your physical health. Like, how old are you?
23.
23, young, you're young. But you didn't get here overnight. Like, this was a long time coming, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed and worked out. And, you know, have you had some trauma in the past?
I guess.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
Just say yes. You ever hear me say, like, when I talk about trauma, when I say that you have to deal with it and process it, what do I mean by process it?
Talk about it.
Talk about it, but put it in its proper perspective, right? Because, like I say all the time, like, whatever you've been through, here's the thing, whatever you've been through, there's somebody out there who's been through worse and has come out the other side and is out there, you know what I mean? So whatever you've been through, you can get through. But if you never process it, if you never talk about it, if you never heal it, if you never put it in its proper perspective, you stay stuck with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of times we're stuffing our trauma down, like we're using behind it. And here's the thing, whether it's sexual abuse, whether it's a breakup, a divorce, whether it's a death of somebody, even this thing right here, like, do you understand, like, the most close and personal, intimate relationship you've ever had is with your drug of choice. And things need to be mourned properly. There are 5, I don't know, I read the book, there's 5 stages?
5 stages of grief.
Okay, there's 5 stages of grief, but you have to do that, and what's the first one?
Anger.
Denial.
Denial.
Denial's the first one, acceptance is the last one. There's anger, there's bargaining, there's something else I don't really know.
Fucking, your bargaining yours.
It's depression.
Depression. So you have to go from the denial to the depression, to the anger, to the bargaining.
It's anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance.
Okay, well, thank you. But we have to get to the acceptance thing, right? Because if we're using, and I read this directly in the book, it said it, right? That if you're using, you'll go back and forth from the depression to the anger to the, you know what I mean? You will never clearly process it. Because I say it all the time, like, I found my younger brother dead in the overdose. I went through some other stuff, but that was a rough one because we were really super close. And for years, all I did was, it was like something that, you know, don't get me wrong, if you see me out there and you say, hey man, I'm sorry about your brother, but I can't, man, what are you gonna do? This is what it is, you know what I mean? I wasn't walking around like crying over it, upset over it, but it was really something that was upsetting to me. And it wasn't until I dealt with it in a sober way when I realized, like, yeah, it's terrible that we didn't grow old together and sit on a rocking chair and he wasn't able to be the godfather to my kids that I wanted him to be. But here's the acceptance part. I'm just so glad I had him for those 29 years, right? Like, I didn't have to have him for one day, let alone 29 years. So, man, okay, so you see how I dealt with it and put it in its proper perspective instead of walking around going, oh man, you know, it's so sad, he was so young, and I could have did this different, I could have did that different. Like, that's living in the problem, and it's not living in the solution. It gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere, it gets you nowhere. So, but meetings, sponsors, Victoria's got some good, you know what I mean? You gotta jump into it as head first and try to do something different. Sean?
First thing I gotta get my, he talks a lot, calibrated,
Okay.
if I wanna drive.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna get it taken off and get a box to throw in, you know, instead, so I don't have to have both of them.
Yeah.
And, go to a meeting, we'll do some yard work. And I've gotta get my car towed, because that's the only way I can do it, because, you know, it's a long story.
But you're talking about meetings and the sponsor, right?
Yeah. There's a meeting Monday night and Tuesday or Thursday nights, church on Sunday, nursing home on Wednesday morning. And, you know, more meetings.
And it sounds like to me you're adopting a different way of life than running around at the bars and drinking and driving. I know that's your
I
thing.
never went to bars.
Really?
No.
But I beg to differ. We drove
I
here.
drank at home. Drank alone and at home.
Never went to bars? Okay.
Too expensive.
I
Fair
understand.
enough.
I understand.
I'm gonna do sober living IOP as far as recovery.
And I know you're gonna get,
Sponsor.
yeah, I know, you've already said that. And I've told you this before, I said it out loud, like, I'm excited for you, because you respond well to treatment. You really do. And you know, and you come here and I can see your head's down and it's in the right place and I'm really,
I mean, I've done it before, so I know it works.
that's what I mean, like, that's why I said, when I say you respond well to treatment, like, you've done it, you've kicked ass at it, and, you know, just like with him, you have the proof to look back on it, and you say, man, so you fell down, it sucks, no shame in falling down, only shame is not getting up and trying over. And what are you gonna do? You going to sober living? What's your
No, I'm
sober
going
first?
to Camp Hope.
Okay, and that's like a 6-month program,
6
right?
to 8 months. 6 to 8 months there.
Can I just make what do you call that? Like,
12 step work also there.
I wanna make like a guess. Not even that, a guess. I guess it's only gonna be a couple of months before you're helping more than you're getting.
Oh,
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you're only gonna be there 60 days or 30 days before you're helping the people that are coming in, and it's obviously gonna be helping you, but that's gonna be, I can see it already. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, like, you know, like I tell you guys all the time, for everybody to be in here at 4 o'clock and ready for a group, and most people paying attention, and most people nodding their heads, this is good shit, like, I don't know about you, but I didn't wanna keep living the way I was living. What are you doing?
To tell you the truth, I don't know. I'm gonna be state globe trotting. So I'm gonna leave from here and I'm going to Mississippi to at least spend the night in my new house. And from there, I would have to look at, you know, I'm gonna talk with Jody about the things in that area and take it from there. Because I'm moving to a place I've never, ever, a city and a state that I never lived.
Do you think that could be a positive or a negative?
I think it could be a positive.
Me too.
You know,
Me too, because the old people, places and things can't really drag you down. If you really go head first into meetings and IOP and counseling and sticking around the right people. Listen, watch this. How many people in here fancy themselves leaders? Come on, guys.
Like,
That's
think
it?
that they're
Come on.
leaders.
Yeah, who in here thinks they're a leader? No, here's the thing. I believe every single person in here is a leader. I see the way you guys move. I see that. I know you are. I know you are too. Now, with that being said, we all get very, we can all be influenced by our surroundings. You know what I mean? We could all be influenced by our surroundings. So if you're around people that are doing the right thing, it's gonna rub off on them. I mean, that's just a fact. Yes.
Well, see, that's just it. I mean, like I don't see myself as a leader.
Well,
I just don't, I mean, because of what the shit I've done.
Yeah.
Because the shit I've done, that's not leading. That's just being, being a fucker.
Well, and I understand.
And so people are not going to look at to me to lead them, to help them, unless I help myself first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Coming back.
that's the only reason why I don't, see myself as a real leader.
But did you understand what I was saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're an intelligent guy. You're strong. You've got your own ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can influence other people. Is that not true?
Sure.
But my point is, and I believe that about every single person in here, but I also think if we're around the negative thing, we kind of water seeks its own level. So if you're out there, you'll kind of flow into it. And if you're around, that's what's so good about sober living. Like, there was a guy here, Spiros, and I love him to death. He used to sit right over there, and he was here 3 or 4 times in succession. And Last time he came in, he had overdosed and he passed out on his back leg, and he almost killed the back leg. Like the circulation was bad. He was walking around here on a cane and this and that. And he was at the place that I was at when I was at treatment last time, where I really never thought I could get better. And he's like, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna die like this. And I'm like, bro, just go to sober living and do what they tell you to do. I know that sounds crazy, but if you just do what they tell, and you get around some other people that are doing the right things, and it rubs off on you and this and that, and in 3 weeks he's gonna have 2 years. This was a guy who was a real IV drug user and couldn't get 2 or 3, go to treatment and couldn't get 30, 60 days. You know what I mean? And now he's just like, it's crazy, like how happy I am, and it's this and it's that, and it's like, I love that shit. I love America, but Mike, this Mike right here, loves an underdog story. I know how every single person here can rewrite their narrative and change the way people look at you, change the way you look at yourself, to come up out of this and do a complete 180. Instead of what can I get out of the world, what can I give to this world, instead of sucking the life out of a room, all of a sudden you're giving energy to everybody. I mean, and all you have to do, because I don't care, and you've heard me say this a bunch of times, I don't care if you don't want to do the 12 steps. AA, NA, I don't care. Whatever program you're going to adopt, cognitive behavioral therapy, the what's the one that Jake was doing, the Native American one? Okay, nobody knows. Yeah, no, basically.
Hey, how are you?
It's basically this. It's basically no. Listen, guys. Trust me. I've read the Native American book. I've read the Buddhist one. I've read it. They're all very similar to the 12 steps. And I told you this. The 12 steps, whatever it is, all it did was put down on paper and figure out this is how we were supposed to be living our lives the entire time. We're not built to be selfish people. We're not built to have no coping skills. We're not built to poison ourselves so much that our brain chemistry turns, like me and you were just talking about, Carlos. You introduce enough substances into your body and your brain turns. And with that mindset, on a subconscious and a conscious level, you will think of drugs and alcohol more than you think of your family or anything like that. So that's how we become so sick. That's how. And here's the thing. If you're in this room, you've effed yourself. But you can un-eff yourself. Yes, Michelle, you need to go see the doctor.
I go to the airport.
Have fun. All right, so where are we at? You went Forrest, you didn't go, sir.
I get out of having spots already.
Okay.
Right now I'm separated with my wife. We gotta figure that part out. I own my own business, which I'm very, very wrapped into right now, and trying to figure out how to take more time off, take no pressure off. I'm coming off a 2-year relapse. I had 7 years before the coronavirus came, and I lived AA, had a great 7 years, and it all just stopped. And ended up relapsing. And so the last couple years have been back and forth. Probably the last 9 months have been hell. But I do still have a good time with AA.
Well, like I was saying to him and her, you've tasted the other side, so you know it actually works.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt it works.
Yeah. And listen, I always ask people, hey, listen, what happened? Like, what happened? And, whether they're split up with their wife or whatever it is, people like you never tell me, oh, it was because I was going through a divorce, or it was because of this. They always say, I stopped doing what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's true every time. Like, I've never heard anybody say, blame it on other stuff. I've heard people say, I went through a divorce, and instead of leaning in, I started isolating and thought it was okay to have a drink.
That's what happened. I just didn't, a lot of my guys stayed sober. I isolated. I got back into old habits and wrong place, wrong time. It took about 4 months after the shutdown, and everything that I had mapped out, my week was always mapped out. I had, you know,
Structure.
I had a big book study on Monday nights. We took meetings to treatment centers. We had a jail meeting we'd go to every Wednesday. I'd go to meetings dinner for lunch.
So let me ask you something. It's gonna be a little humbling walking back in there, ain't it?
Oh,
listen. I mean, that keeps a lot of people out because they don't wanna face people, right? But anybody that knows anything about this disease is gonna welcome you with open arms, right?
No doubt.
I mean, I know it's happening.
And I was still going. You know, I would get periods of time sober, and then I would, you know, talk about
clarity.
Yeah.
But you know, I still have my sponsor trying to work with me, but you know, towards the end it just, you know, I was too far gone.
Yeah.
I needed this. I needed to get separated.
You're an opiate guy, right? We talked
Yeah.
about that? Yeah, me too. It's hard.
Yep.
It's hard, but it's not impossible. And here's the thing. This is the only, like, trust me, this is gonna be uncomfortable. There's gonna be a lot of uncomfortable moments. There's not a lot of time when it's dragging by. There's gonna be times when you're sad, upset, and angry, and you're this and you're that. But I promise you this, you never have to wake up guilty and hungover. Nobody ever wakes up going, man, I wish I would have relapsed yesterday. You know what I mean? But when you relapse, you go, what the fuck? Why did I do that? You know, it's just the hardest part of this thing in the beginning is holding on. It's just holding on. And I always say you don't even have to trust the process. I don't even care if you trust the process. I just want you to hold on. Because eventually it's going to happen for you and you're going to see for yourself. Am I wrong? Because it's hard for me to, I remember what it was like where I never in a million years thought that this could work for me. They said, Mike, you could be happy being sober. I'm like, you make no sense. Because I've never been happy sober. See, I tell people all the time, I didn't even like getting high. I just hated being sober. You know what I'm saying? That was my problem.
To run out.
That was, I hated being sober. When I was high, that was like my regular, you know, I was normal, almost. So, I'm glad you're here, man. I really am. Thank you. Mark, what's your plan, dude? What are you gonna do? You gonna go work for David Money?
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, we just sure don't have enough idea. That's a big model.
Yeah.
But, no, I kind of go to recenter,
Okay.
and then, see my credit back up and do the mortgage.
Okay. But what do you, listen, that's great. That's great. I'd love to see you, like, make more money and get a nicer house than you've ever had. What are you gonna do to take care of this? Because,
So I'm doing, I have recent, it's part of like.
yeah, meetings, sponsors.
Meetings, then like iPad stuff.
Okay, good. And if all you gotta do is like do it and hold on and just, you know, really put your head down and just, like I keep telling you all the time, be willing to be uncomfortable because it's not gonna be fun in the beginning. Because here's the thing, we're still dragging them. I mean, guys, listen to what I'm about to tell you. The absolute best part of early recovery is today, is this place. Do you understand what I'm saying? In this area, at Great Oaks or any recovery center you're at, like, this is the best part of early recovery because you're surrounded by other people. I mean, who in here has laughed more since they've been here than they have in the last 2 years of their life?
Well, I didn't sober living.
Well, you know what I mean, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because if you know, let's just pretend like however long it was, when you're out there in your addiction and you're isolated and you're fighting with your family and you're butting your head against the wall and butting heads with everybody else, like there aren't too many free, light moments where you're like, okay, like I feel pretty decent about things. And that is in here. But when you leave out there, remember, the shield and the armor kind of comes away because you're by yourself. And you're not really totally by yourself. You've got God with you. God's gonna show you the way through Jody or through the Recenter or through your sponsor or through meetings. God's gonna show you the path.
God, your understanding will.
Are you gonna walk the path? Because usually our great ideas, that's what fucks us up. I don't need that. That's bullshit. I don't want to do that. I don't need, you know, that's what messes all of us up. If we just let go and do what we're, I mean, like I was saying before about Carlos, about his problems, most of the problems that you have, if you just stop drinking and get sober, those things kind of go away. Those things just kind of go away. RJ, and when are you leaving, RJ? Okay, but soon, right?
Maybe.
Please, guys, please, there's a group going on? Good.
AA, individual counseling, and then possibly ILP.
Possibly? Okay. But I know you're gonna grab hold of AA this time, right?
Yeah, that's
Because listen, dude, let's just look at your pattern. And I'm not trying to beat you down.
yeah.
It's gonna be a couple of days and the urge or the craving or the want to drink is gonna hit you. I mean, that's when you have to like not listen to this.
Yeah.
Call somebody, tell somebody, just go to a meeting. Handcuff yourself to the radiator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just can't listen to this. And it's gonna be a powerful message. It is gonna be a powerful message. But I mean, that's why I say all the time, like, guys, write yourself a note, write some shit down. You know what I mean? This is what I'm gonna do. This is my itinerary every single day. And listen, I'm telling you guys, you need to be praying every single day, in the morning and at night. And all you gotta do is thank God for sober day yesterday, pray to be sober today, and just say, please reveal yourself to me. That's it. That's it. Good, Jeff.
Going back to work, which, going back to family, need to find a, meeting spot, AA.
What town do you live in?
Victoria.
You heard what I just told
I
you.
didn't know you were Victoria.
What?
He said to
Talk about that later.
But, yeah, my doctor's been trying to get me to see a counselor for a while. I might look her up. I tried to hit her up one time, left a message, dropped the ball, didn't hear back,
Okay.
Probably talk to her.
So I like that, because you're gonna do something different than you did last time, right?
Yeah, oh,
Good.
absolutely.
Good.
I mean, I've never been in a
Treatment center.
treatment center before. I tried to do all my own treatment before.
Didn't you actually try to do it on your own?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I never did.
Oh, okay, you just
I
said.
tried to clean up for a while, and then I just went right back to what I was doing.
I understand.
But I never lied to myself. I never told myself I was going to quit drinking
Yeah, yeah,
before.
I understand.
I literally never did.
No, I
I
believe
don't like
you.
lying to myself.
No, hey, that's
Yeah.
good.
I've hooked the portion throwing many nights, and I never lied to myself in that reflection in the pot,
Yeah.
I'll never drink it again. 'Cause I said, I can't believe I did this to myself.
Yeah.
I'll be doing it again soon. But, no, but seriously, look into something like that, the meetings and counseling, and, the sponsor thing.
Can I tell you guys what saved my life in the beginning too? Besides funny shows, like I told you the other day, just comedies, like something to make me smile, because there were times when I didn't smile. There's a thing called recoveryspeakers.com, or like the big book, like there's Joe and Charlie meetings on there and stuff like that.
Those are good.
Well, especially, listen, you know what I love about the recovery speakers? Because I put it on my phone, and it was when I laid down at night, and I would try my hardest to listen to that instead of think up here. Because there were times when I'd be listening, and man, I'm telling you guys, if you want them real deal stories, those Heroin Anonymous or Cocaine Anonymous speakers, they're really good. Like, they really come from the bottom and come up. And there'd be times when I'd be listening, and I'd hear, like, just say, I'm listening to Forrest's story, and I'm like 15, 20 minutes later, and then I realize I'm not listening, I'm talking to some other stuff, and then I bring myself back. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's what I would try to do. And because here's the thing, when you hear somebody, like what Robert did before, even if it's on your phone, you're hearing somebody's story, and you can tell they're being real, and their emotions are real, and you hear how somebody overcame this, it has to give you a tiny bit of hope. It's what
Even if it's just enough to carry on to the next day. That's all I think.
Exactly. I mean, I've listened to every single recovery speaker, AA. I've listened to everything multiple times. Not everything multiple times, but I've listened to everything I could ever get my hands on, and some shit 2 or 3 times, because it just helps. Listen, I had a friend in New York tell me, what do you go to that shit for? They're trying to brainwash you. I said, my friend, I needed my brain washed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because every thought that I thought in felonies and misdemeanors and violations, and how to get over and how to do this, and all the music I listened to and all the movies I listened to. You know what I mean? Like, I was just one, like, all I did was think about it. Especially when with drug, all I did, painkillers and heroin and stuff like that, planned my life around. I mean, it was like everything. So in order to kind of change this a little bit, I listen to as much of that stuff as possible. And you'll hear stuff that, you'll hear, I tell people all the time, like, you know, you guys talk about resentments a lot, right? And I was at a meeting in Patterson, New Jersey, and this is the hood. And I heard this lady say, she said, resentments are like hemorrhoids. They only hurt the asshole that has them. I never forgot that. You know what I mean? Like, even to this day, if I'm annoyed with somebody or something, I'm like, you're the asshole. You're the asshole, Mike. You know what I mean? And what did I just do? Like, I had a resentment, what did I do? I processed it out. And I said, Mike, you know what I mean? Like, one that's not important. You know, and that's what this whole thing is coping skills and processing, putting it in the right perspective, not thinking the fucked up way that we think. Because anybody in here not think that they think fucked up, please tell me, because I'm gonna shatter you right now. If you don't think you think fucked up, just think everything you've ever done at the time was a great idea, probably couldn't be talked out of it. I'm not saying most of the shit you think ain't right. I'm just talking about that crazy shit that we thought was right, then we look back on it and we go, that wasn't right. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? So just remember, you can't trust this. If you leave here going, I can't trust my brain, let me try to listen to somebody else for a change and see how it works out. Like I said, wouldn't you rather listen to your sponsor and him be wrong than you listen to yourself and you be wrong and F
Yeah, at
yourself?
least then you have someone to blame it on.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because I am
Take the blame off you.
Yes, I was tired. Man, I was sick and tired of being sorry. I hated being sorry. Elaine, what are you gonna do, young lady?
Classes at UT, working, volunteering. I don't know about IOP.
I love that volunteering part, by the way.
Smart recovery meetings and sessions with an outpatient therapist.
And you know why I love so much that you're going to be volunteering? I like for everybody to volunteer, but that's going to give you so much confidence. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to give you, like, confidence, and it's going to put some strength, and I think it's going to be the best thing for you. I'm proud of you. Yeah.
I think at her age, she got to put her hand on it for the difference, because she is, not too many kids, not too many people their age actually admit the fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's all these, some, like these youngsters do. I'm calling y'all youngsters, I'm 61. You know, but y'all see, y'all have a problem. And that's the basis of recovery. Knowing, you know, shit ain't right.
Yeah. You're right.
Because I was told one time, we're as sick as our darkest secret.
Yeah. And like you've heard me say this, what you don't reveal, you cannot heal. So if you're dragging some shit around you that you don't want to talk about, or you're afraid to talk about, that you're embarrassed to talk about, that's the shit you need. And here's the thing, you don't have to share it in a room full of people. If you want to, you can, but you have to share it. Get a, you know, if you need a counselor, if you need a doctor, if you trust yourself, I don't care, let that shit out. Because here's one thing I know that I didn't know 4 or 5 years ago, pain shared is pain lessened.
Yeah.
It might, listen, if I went through something really terrible and I talked to you about it, right? It might not make, if it's something really serious, it's not gonna make it all go away. But it might make it feel a little bit better. And what it might do, get me through the day. You know what I mean?
It's honesty, man.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just honest about everything.
It takes it, yeah. And,
It didn't matter what it was.
well, that's the thing too, and how much of our dishonesty comes from omitting the truth? How you doing? Fine. I'm not fine. I got a million things going on. Patrick, let me hear, buddy.
I'm going to transition into hopefully a Chevrolet.
Okay.
And then I'll get a hold of my sponsor, and I'm doing my 4-step here, and then I'll do my 5th step when I meet up with them. Then do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm hoping when you get with your sponsor, you do 1, 2, and 3 together, and you get on your hands and knees.
That's what we do. That's what we do. You're all going to say that.
Yes. No. I was just saying, I hope you're.
I've done this before.
Okay.
So, that's it.
How'd it work out?
Well, that finance thing, so for about a year.
Yeah, and you're gonna keep hitting the gym, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Well, let me ask you something, guys. Why do you think it's so important to get physical exercise?
Because
It keeps your body young.
It does, but it helps the mental. It helps the mental
Yes,
part.
just as well.
You're like too tired to think negative almost.
It's the whole body.
It's first of all, I promise you, recovery is like going to the gym. it's not instant gratification. Do you understand what I'm saying? You put the work in, and then after a while, you get the, because like I say all the time, how many times do we get up, like, and not feel like going to work? Like, if we could, we would just call in and not go. And then we get up and go, and we're always glad to play, for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, like, for the most part, the shit that's good for us, our brain says, I don't want to do that, that's bullshit. Because here's the thing, and I like that you're working out and stuff like that, but stay consistent with it. Because there'll probably be times when you're like, you know what, I'm tired and I don't feel like it.
Right.
And that's just like when you don't feel like going to a meeting, that's the most important time to go. Because you go and you're like, oh shit. And it, because listen, there's three parts to a human being. There's the physical, there's the spiritual, I don't know what side that was.
Pledge of allegiance.
Yeah. So there's the spiritual, and then there's the mental. There's the mental. And like I say all the time, if everybody in here went and bought a brand new Chevy Tahoe today, and we wanted to get the most miles out of it, we wanted to be as happy as possible. Okay, all right, so we all went and bought a brand new Toyota Tundra, and we want to get the maximum, we want it to be as happy as possible. Do we put shitty oil in it? No, we maintain it. Like
We go to Don McGill and get the lifetime free oil changes.
But here's the thing. So people tell them Forrest sent you.
Yes, please.
But here's the thing, like, we won't take care of our bodies as good as we will a vehicle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the crazy
That's
part.
true.
No, well, I'll say to you all the time, right? All right, how long, Carlos, you got up, you took a shower today? All right, so you got up, you took a shower, you got dressed, you did whatever, let's just say 20 minutes, right? And I get, we're in here, so I'm not really talking about today. But like, did you spend 20 minutes on your spiritual and your mental health? You know what I mean? Like, isn't it crazy? Like, we'll take care of that, but we won't take care of that. And that's what you gotta maintain it. We gotta be, because I tell you this all the time, when you're in here, or if you're out there, if everybody in the world's a fucking idiot, if everything's making you depressed, if everything's making you angry, you're headed for, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing, for the most part, it's the same people that are in your life all the time. You've got the same problems that you did the fun, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's beating you down and you're not looking at it the right way. And if everybody in the world,
Then you're just a dry drum.
well, and if everybody in the world's an idiot, it's probably you. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Not everybody else is me.
Exactly. And because here's the thing, guys, spoiler alert, the world's not gonna change much if you get clean and get sober.
It's not
Still gonna be living in,
all.
you're gonna be surrounded, you're gonna be swimming in a pool of sharks, right?
Right.
We are surrounded by whatever, but the way you look at it will. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Suddenly, you start noticing the good in people, and not everybody's a shady, selfish asshole type of thing. When we're not in the right way, that's what we'll notice. And that's, when I say process shit, when I say look at things differently, I was talking to my daughter today, and she's like, I just been working so much, and they wanted me to do this, but they put me on food running, and, you know, I'm working this, and, you know, she's like, I'm just exhausted, and I'm like, listen, I hear you, and I understand, and I love you, and I'm proud of you. But when it gets times like this, you just gotta look back on it like, thank God you have the ability. So, you know, she's got two jobs. One, whatever, you know, one that she can make good money at, the other one's kind of just whatever. And I say, you have the ability to go and you can pay your bills and you can work and you can make money and you can do this. If you just look at it like that, like, you don't have to go to work, you get to go to work. Because if you were sitting at home right now with no jobs, sitting on the couch, wondering how you're gonna pay your bills and do this, you'd be going crazy. And you're like, what, I'll do anything. That's the thing. We'll do anything. We'll do anything. I mean, I just want to work. I just want this. And then we get a job and we're like, are you fucking kidding me? This fucking guy don't do nothing. I do everything. Yeah.
I plan on starting AA up immediately.
Okay.
And, you know, and then just try to make amends with a lot of people.
All right, so can I tell you though, like I was telling him, a lot of the times when you do amends, right, they're called a living amends. You know what that means?
Just keep doing, start doing the right thing.
I mean, everybody, when I did my amends and stuff like that, everybody was like, man, just don't go back. You know what I mean? Just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't go back. Like, you know, you're fine. Just don't go back. You know, like my sister. Everybody said it to me. And that's the thing. You do the right thing and you really change and you continue to do the right thing, man, they're going to be so...
I'm sure that, I mean, they're all accepting. You know what I mean? I got a really loving family, and they're accepting, but I just think it's important for me
Yeah.
to let them know how sorry I am.
Oh, wrong word.
Oh, well, here's the thing. But no, it isn't though, kind of. I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
but the thing is, when we can actually, and I'm not even gonna get into that, but when we actually do clear that side of the street, right? When you make a real amends and you tell them you were sorry, or you tell them, I know I've harmed you, what can I do to make it better? And they say, just keep doing the right thing. All of a sudden, you don't really have to carry too much of that guilt with us. You know what I mean? Because we've kind of repaired it, and so now we can let go of some of that guilt. And now we use it as, what's the word? Well, not even encouragement, but like, it's accountability, motivation, but accountability. Can't go back. You know what I mean? Like, they said cool, they said don't go back. Now you gotta use that as accountability. Because at this point, you should have been restored to sanity, and these crazy ideas that pop up, you don't necessarily, because here's the thing. When you are insane, you will get a crazy idea in your head, and you will act on it without thinking twice. Like, it's a good idea to have a drink after you've been fucking shit up constantly, and you've only got 13 days clean, and you've just sworn it off. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then the idea hits, and then you have a drink, and that's an insane idea. But when you get some time and you work the steps, and now it's 9 months in, and you get this idea to have a drink, because guys, we are powerless over people, places, and things, and our first thought. Our first thought, you'll always be powerless. I mean, I still get crazy thoughts about how to make money the illegal way. Do you understand what I mean? But my second thought is, are you fucking crazy? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that? Why would you think that? Why would you? So that's the thing. That's when you know, and your family will see. Your family will see. So you're gonna go to AA. Good. And do you work like? Oh yeah, that's good too. Keep busy. You got the family. Good. Don't work too much though. You know what I mean? Don't don't make work more important than this.
Well, they only can work me a certain amount of hours.
Okay.
60 is all I can do.
Okay. You can work 60 and still get to meetings and take care of yourselves. All right, so I'm gonna do them, and then I'm gonna come to you. What are you doing when you get out of here?
I need to find a place, honestly. In here, it's hard to do anything, you know, don't have a phone.
Well, you're talking about a place like maybe sort of living?
No,
or
yeah, no, I have my own house.
Where do you live?
8 hours from here, San Angelo, Texas.
Okay, listen, first of all, even if you don't get, somehow that doesn't happen. You just go, I mean, you literally can type in your phone, AA meeting near me.
There's a meeting guide app.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's what I was wanting to ask you about.
Well, tell
on your phone is a meeting guide that you can search AA meetings around your area.
Yeah, and like, and listen, I don't even know about that app, like if I'm visiting, I'm doing something, I literally just type in AA meeting near me.
I think there's a thing over there for, like, posted up about that app.
Okay, and Jody will get with you with that, and who's your counselor?
Fred.
Fred will get with, yeah.
You'll come up with a
plan.
game plan.
And if you follow that plan, and you don't deviate off that plan, if you just do whatever Fred sets up for you to do, under no circumstances, like you've heard me say this, like, what is your main goal? If your main goal is to not drink anymore and stop fucking things up, then you're gonna follow that plan as if, which it does, your life depends on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's when we start playing with this thing, when we think it's not that serious or we can handle it, that shit gets fucked up. Yeah.
So, my plan the whole time is to find a place, because I don't want to be on the streets anymore. So that's what I'm trying to do, like find housing, get Social Security, disability. Of course, I'm going to go to AA, but I also want to go to NA, the CA. I didn't know they had
Well, here's the thing, I'm not really sure, I've only seen it on the East Coast.
Okay.
But Heroin Anonymous is just like Cocaine Anonymous, where they use the big book of AA. That's why I love it. You know what I mean? I have nothing against Narcotics Anonymous. I don't care what AA you go, I don't care what you use to get good coping skills and healthy self-esteem. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to feel better, to do better, and be better, and stop killing yourself. What'd you say before? It's not a lifestyle. It's a death style. Remember before when I said, and you were like, it's not a lifestyle. You're 100% right. Like, it is no way to live. it is no way to live. If we, and you're young, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes, and I'm not happy you're homeless, believe me, so don't take it the wrong way. But sometimes being homeless and back against the wall turns out to be the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it made me a stronger person with things I've been through.
Yeah.
And I also want to find a new sponsor. Actually finish the 12 steps without relapsing. And I want to be a sponsor as well. And that's pretty much it. Just already, you know, cleaned out, my mom cleaned out my phone. When I overdosed in the hotel, she got my phone and everything, changed my number. So everything's pretty much clear.
Fresh slate.
You know, fresh.
Clean slate.
Yeah, so basically that's it. Go back to college and when I'm stable enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all you gotta do when you leave here is find yourself some housing.
Yeah.
Get clean, work the steps, get a job, get a little job just so that you can get by.
Yeah.
And get a real good foundation. I mean, you are so young, you know what I mean? Like, the rest will take care of itself. If you try to do that all the day you get out, you'll become too overwhelmed. Do you understand? No, I know that. I didn't say you said, I'm just saying, some people say stuff like that. You know? But I'm like, hey, man.
You could be dead right now.
Yeah. One
That's some
step at
scary
a time.
shit.
Yeah, I overdosed. I don't know how I survived, but hey,
God's grace.
God gave you a second
God's
chance.
grace.
that's what I'm saying.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and then it doesn't happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes someone's given a million chances, and sometimes you don't get one. So just look at it like that. Just look at it, and this is what I say all the time. I don't care if you're his age, if you've ever overdosed. I don't care if you're his age. Every single person in here is playing with house money. All of us could be dead of overdoses or in jail for the foreseeable, you know what I mean? So we are all playing with house money, and we were all given a second, third, whatever opportunity to right the ship. Desmond. Desmond. No. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Desmond. I apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Well, they all look alike?
No. I apologize.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Go see my mom, my daughter. Do IO, well, actually find AA.
Where do you live?
Mostly.
Okay. Oh, I work out there.
So find AA. and-
There is great meetings out there.
Lamplighter, Sienna Solution.
Do my IOP at the VA and try to, my oldest brother works at Meals on Wheels.
Okay.
So I'm 100% disabled, so I'm gonna try to occupy my time.
Good.
as much as possible.
There's a 9 a.m. meeting in Missouri City, a 9 a.m. and a 12 meeting at Missouri City. Both of them, very spiritual, filled with solution, good meetings.
I go like every day.
You can get what you need from there, 100%. And you're gonna go to meetings, you're gonna do whatever, you got kids?
IOP, yeah, I got a 9-year-old.
Okay.
So, mother, daughter, IOP, AA, North City, volunteer, hopefully, want to try Meals on Wheels.
Okay, good, couldn't be any better cause to be working towards. Sanjeev.
I've been in Texas for 2 years. I've been in Texas for 2 years, and I'm on probation over here for 10 years. So for 22 months, I had a spread device. So I've been sober for 22 months, and then I had a little breakdown here where I cut it off because of anxiety and depression and all that. So as soon as I get out of here, that's gonna go back on. And I still got. If I get it on half, I still got 2 more years left.
Okay.
So that's gonna be gone, so I cannot drink anymore. Besides that, I got, my OCD therapy is gonna start up, so I'm gonna go to regular basis on that so I can find some peace.
Yeah.
In my end, because this is too much.
I think if you take care of, like I keep saying, your physical, spiritual, and mental health,
Yes.
at the very least, it becomes a little bit easier to deal with.
Trust me, there's a lot of spiritual
Yeah.
in there involved.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Amos.
I'm thinking about either maybe doing some sober living before I do IOP, because right now I don't have a job. I got a truck. I ain't got a job. I ain't got no wills to get a job. So, it's gonna be kinda hard to go to IOP straight from here. So maybe I'll just go to Sober Living, so I'm thinking about it, my wife and I are talking about it. So, it's something I might do though. And if not, I'm just gonna go straight to IOP, make my meetings, man. I'm not quitting this, because this is my second time around. This is my last time going.
And
I've been homeless too, you know, like the young man said, I was homeless too, living in a motel and shit. I've been separated, you know, from my wife the first time around. I was separated for over a year. I had my own apartment. But then I came back home and stayed. We were together for two more months where I, you know, fucked her again, started, you know, lying and drugging and again. And she, you know, and I liked her until I wasn't doing, you know, I was claiming that I haven't done anything for months, but I was still doing it every fucking day. Even when she'd leave, I still do shit every day, you know, when she'd leave for work. So, yeah, that's what my goal is right now. That's what my intentions are doing. That's actually what I'm going to do all that. But I'm really seriously thinking about doing some maybe some sober living, because I did that in Florida when I did my first time out. I did that. It was you know, we had a group of guys, you know, people had their own.
Hold on, yes, sir.
Está Amado here. Amado.
Yes.
Here come.
I know. Who? Tamara? Where's
So Tammy?
She's outside.
No,
I think she's sleeping.
She's right there.
No, that's
That's shared.
Okay, so guys, let's let him finish, and then I'm gonna come to you guys, whoever wants to share, because we're running out of time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to do, so yeah.
Okay, sober living, great idea.
So, but if anybody knows anybody that, you know, that's giving a car away or selling a car, man, and work with me, like shit, let me know, man. I can do that. I'll do that.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yes, well, you went already, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, most of you know that I relapsed a couple of days out of recovery last night because I was doing the thing I wanted to do, and I know everybody's got families out there, they got businesses going on, I know all that. See, that was my deal. I wanted to get down to Galveston and be around my family. That's what I wanted to do. But when I went down there, I thought of my face. So this time I'm going to sober living and all that because sometimes the thing that we want to do while we're here might not be the best thing for us.
Jimmy, you just said that maybe we don't know what's good for us.
Right.
We think we do. It makes sense, like I want to be by my family. Who doesn't want to be by their family?
Exactly.
But then you're comfortable. And you're in this, you know what I'm saying?
Right, it wasn't the best thing for me. I was out 2 days in backstage, relaxed, and I came here afterwards. So, you know, we have to stop and think sometime. I don't mean to say we, but us or whatever. We need to stop and think sometime what's best for me when I leave this.
And what's the best way to know? Like, here's the thing. If you're not really sure, the best thing to do is ask somebody that you know wants the best for you. Because like I say all the time, isn't it so easy for us to know what someone else's problem is? We can look at somebody else in a toxic, messed up relationship and be like, they're crazy. They ain't never going to make it. But they don't get it. Have enough humility to say, maybe I don't know what's good for me. Like, if you're really trying to do better and be better, take someone's advice. It's not going to kill you unless they tell you to kill
You
yourself.
see, because I was excited to go to Galveston and be with my family, but they wasn't excited as I was about getting down there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, your family, they would want you better off sober and clean than going back home and using again.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody want to share? Yeah, let me hear you. What are you going to do, Willie? What are you going to do?
I'm coming out of town. I'm going back to welding and stuff. I'm going to do a job. I got 2 more years on 55. So I'm coming out of retirement. I got all my adjustable for it, my bank account. Got a lot working on that. So my financial situation is being worked on. I'm definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
See, when I got here, I was in Lower Ridge in San Antonio for 45 days, and I went to Rice Step for 45 days, and I came here. See, I didn't get off the bus. Yeah.
You went door to door?
Yeah.
So you're at like 125 days.
126 days, so.
Okay.
But the thing about it, though, I was talking to Patrick. I said, man, I'm going to feel institutionalized now. So the time to put it on my big boy thing, I can get on that day and do me.
But that, see, and if you ask me, like, if you ask me, Mike, what should I do? That's why I think you should go to sober living for a couple of months,
Yeah.
because it's a step down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not in an institution like this, but it's a step down where you have some structure and rules,
Yeah.
but not a ton. And then you can
Yeah.
transition eventually to your own place. And
Yeah.
it's like, here's the thing, if you never have to do it again, isn't it completely worth it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the simple fact is, what got me through my addiction was the fact that I was forced into retirement because of my health. So I couldn't find out. I talked to the Social Security office. They said I'm allowed to work so many hours. So it takes a lot of dead time off of me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we need to be busy, people
You
like
gotta
us.
stay busy. You gotta stay
What do they
busy.
say about idle hands?
And the devil works out. You know? And then the fact is, I deal with mental health. You know, I got a lot of shit going on, so I stay on my bed, like you say, mind, spirit, and everything. I'm on that every morning. I get my spiritual reading in, you know, and I share that with people around me. We have a group out there about the fire pit sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
So that's the shit that I do because I know me. I know what this disease is. I know what it does. It makes you feel unworthy. It makes you feel less than nothing. It makes you feel like it was hopeless. But see, that's just a mountain that's in your way. That ain't
Well, here's the thing, it's not true.
It's
It's a
not true.
lie. It's a lie we
It's a
tell
lie.
ourselves.
It's a damn
And the
lie.
lie is easy for us to believe.
Yeah.
Why? Because we feel so guilty and shameful and
Yeah.
remorseful and beat down and depressed and all that. So it's easy to believe it, but it's not true because our brains are lying to ourselves. Just like what Jimmy said. Jimmy said, I thought it was a good idea to go down there with them. No, your brain was lying to you. It wasn't a good idea.
Because I was like, I told you, read the secret out of Dr. Secret. If you speak it, I know, like, if I speak on my addiction, I see that it's a lie. I say, hey, I hate crack. And guess what? I'm believing that now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed to say I'm a crackhead.
Takes the power, doesn't it take the power away a little bit?
Take the power away,
Yeah,
you know?
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, because a lot of people, if they really want to insult you, they'll tell you, oh, you're just a fucking heroin addict, or you're just a fucking crackhead. And that makes you feel small.
Yeah.
But you know, I have the disease. I am not this disease. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't define
It
you.
don't define you.
You're 100% right. And listen, I promise you, with everything in my body, that if you do what you're supposed to do, this, what we perceive or what other people perceive as a weakness, becomes your biggest strength.
Your strength.
The greatest thing that ever happened to me was becoming a heroin
Me
addict.
too. Me
Because
too.
I got completely destroyed,
Yeah.
and I built myself back up, and God built me up, and you guys built me up into the person I was always supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not the person I decided to be, or that I thought you wanted me to be. Who I'm really supposed to be, who God wants me to be.
Yeah.
And that's why I'll be a servant of God till the day I die. All right, guys, thank you so much.